are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a Monday. Once again, the Barnes and Tony Show. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, dude. I mean, you know, a bit of a tough sports weekend.
You weren't robbed of Russell Keenley, Tony, at the API.
I mean, listen, it
The
was
Chip-In Eagle.
no, yes. I mean, that I guess was maybe a cool tournament to watch. I was watching it during the show on Thursday and Friday. Caught a little bit on Saturday. Caught a good chunk of it on Sunday. So, a lot of changing of the guards in terms of the leadership over the course of the weekend. Who's looking good? Who's kind of blowing it? Who's trying to come from behind? And yes, Russell, great win for the Bulldog, but. I don't know, man. The other things that happened this weekend, it's just not a lot of good really took place.
What do you mean, dude? I feel like it was an outstanding sports weekend, right?
I mean, in terms of the Rangers, it was really like, the opposite of what I wanted to happen. And, Francisco Alvarez suffered an injury as well over the course of the weekend, which would result in him having surgery, missing like 6 to 8 weeks, dude.
At least it's better than getting Tommy John.
That's true. But this is the second time with Alvarez, issue with the hand here. Like, it's tough. It, obviously, yes.
Second time with the elbow.
Second time with the elbow. Gerrit Cole, not good, dude.
But you know what, Tony? We can't be all downtrodden. All right. We're gonna get through it. And hey, listen. I mean, I think honestly. I mean, you have the Montas situation, you have Francisco Alvarez, but I still think, the Yankees have been hit harder. Nevertheless, I'm going full speed ahead, and obviously, as you can imagine, had a great time this past weekend in Tampa.
Give us the full
for
detail.
spring training. So yeah, I mean, got
Did you upgrade on the flight first class?
No, because I took JetBlue. I have that only on American, but JetBlue I've always really liked.
Mm-hmm.
So got started early and often. I'm trying to think. Landed around 10:30 on Thursday, and then took the shuttle right to the hotel. Got to the ballpark a little like maybe an hour 15 early, so had a lot of extra time.
Nice.
So and it was the perfect day. 64, sunny. Slight breeze, and I was sitting, a couple rows up from the field, and just sitting there, just soaking it all in, being as close to the players. I think I sent that video of who the heck is the catcher on the Twins? Jeffers, I think. Mm-hmm. Jeffers was in the bullpen. So I was really
you were talking shit.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I was enjoying just sitting there like, wow, this is amazing. This weather, this stadium, just being there finally after seeing it so many times on TV before. So that was awesome. And it just, little did I know, Tony, that most likely I was seeing the only Gerrit Cole start that I would see this season. And, he definitely got, roughed up. It might have been 7 runs or something.
I think it was 5.
They took him out and then put him back in, gave up a couple home runs. Velocity was fine. So, didn't expect anything out of the ordinary. And it was nice, too, because, I was telling everybody, it's like, okay, normally, you go to a game and they don't win, it's kind of like what we're just talking about, like the downtrod, this and that. But it's like, it's spring training, doesn't matter.
But
so that was the thought, and I left maybe I'm trying to think. I probably in like the bottom of the 8th inning just to get back for the Lightning game that I had later on. So went back to the hotel real quick, showered, changed, and then got the Uber to Amalai, Tony, and that shit, it was popping. I think I got there around 6. Game started at 7, and the club there, the Channel Club, Chase Club, whatever they call it.
Yeah, it was sick, dude.
Unbelievable. I mean, 2 stories. I mean, there must have been 12 different food stations. Everything from sushi to steak to the candy bar, the dessert bar.
All right, so what'd you have? Dude?
Ice
What'd you
cream
go
bar.
for first?
I mean, I went for everything, honestly. But what was closest was the shrimp and the sushi. I was just right there. Then there was like some pulled pork sandwich. You keep walking around. And at first, I didn't realize it was like, because I was sitting on the top level, that like down low you could go, and there was even more stuff down there. So I didn't even get to try everything. But honestly, everything that I had tried was just unbelievable. So you coupled that. With the open bar, and the look it up. Look for a pronunciation. I know someone will tell us, but
spell it again for me.
It's Jayaylai,
and it's
beer.
Oh, is it Highlight?
Yeah. Where's the high? I don't.
There's a high, dude.
But right, that's what it is. That's how you say it.
I think so.
Highlight.
It must be Highlight, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Jai-alai.
Yeah, no, that's a Highlight or Highlight. Yeah, but anyway, that was the drink of the night. So and what was really cool too. So all this stuff was open the entirety of the game. So they had churros too, which are unbelievable. The ice cream sundae bar.
Oh my god!
You would have went nuts. It's actually just the open bar, all the different stuff, top shelf, and the fact too that so the food's open the whole game, and then after the game, the bar was open for another hour. Like, are you
really?
Kidding? Yeah. Like you don't usually get. I mean, they're closing early, not later typically. So that was unbelievable. So obviously, as you can imagine, that was a long day, and it was crazy too that game ends up being 6-5. Buffalo had a chance on a 6-on-3, and Corey, was saying he had never seen that before. At the end of the game like that, but the Lightning hold on to win. The Gensel hat trick, the 11 goals. It was nuts. It was bumping. So that was just a great experience. And then Friday, hit the golf course in the morning. And then the game was at 6:35.
How'd you shoot?
So overall, I was around 100. Best round was yesterday, shot 95. Putting just is not there yet.
It's
and
early.
then it was funny too. I think I was telling you that about the whole driver thing.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I find in my carrying case the screws I needed were just at the bottom of the bag. So I was able to use my driver yesterday. Actually, was hitting it well. But yeah, just that's how it is always early in the season. But I was happy with the 95 yesterday. Could have been a lot better, but just too many 3 putts. Not a lot of blow up holes, but just the regular shots were good. But just getting the hang of it, and then it's healing now. But I have like this blister right here that started actually Wednesday before I left. I was at the driving range.
Ouch.
And it's just the overlap with the grip.
Man.
So that was a little uncomfortable.
I mean, you're a warrior, dude.
But listen, it was great being out there. And then it was kind of cool. So, got back, and then actually, my friend Tyler, who commented on the show once or twice, he lives in Sarasota. I met up with him, and he actually went to the Yankee game with me. So that was cool. I'm trying to think. It'd been a couple of years since I'd seen him, but we grew up together. A lot of basketball and all that stuff. So it was cool to meet up with him. And then actually afterwards, we met up with our other friend, Squanto, who called in a couple years ago. I don't remember. He's a Colts fan. He has partial season tickets, or he did, whatever. So we met up with him at the Hard Rock. Actually, the Hard Rock Casino, which I was so impressed. I mean, you go in there, it feels like you're in Las Vegas, like just one of the really like glitzy casino. And we go to this place. There's another name for it, but I know they also refer to it as like the noodle bar. So got these beef lo mein noodles that were just
nice, dude.
Unbelievable. The egg noodles, the flavor, split the crab rangoon, and then also had the dumplings. Just so good in a place that's like just a casual place, but you have to wait in a half hour. It's like, it almost reminds me of, I bet it's similar to the Borgata noodle bar, honestly, but it's just like, there's not as many options, I think, at this place. So everybody just waits to, to go in. So that was awesome. And then had a ridiculous scenario, with the blackjack. As you can imagine, always is a roller coaster. So won a little real quick. Then we went to dinner. Then came back. I just hit one of those where it's like every time, whether it's this or it's that. So it was kind of tough. So we're kind of on our last leg, rallying, and then had this insane hand where, got dealt pocket sevens, basically.
Double split
against the 7.
Nice.
Got 17 on the first hand, and then the other hand got a 4, doubled, okay? Got 21.
Yeah.
Dealer ends up busting, and it was and I had hit the suited, non-suited match before. So completely saved the night, ended up winning $500. So it was kind of crazy. And $50 minimum.
No kidding.
Yeah, was that packed?
$50 minimum.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was crazy too, because people are coming in $200. It's they're what are
couple
they there
hands.
for? Yeah, exactly. But one of those things, supply and demand. So that was kind of crazy, but it was definitely cool to check that out. And then Saturday, a little later on the golf, was kind of tired, so slept in a little bit.
Tired.
But so then golfed and then went to Colony, like I was telling you. This nice new area, those things. It's a big concept now. I know they do it in North Carolina, where it's apartments, restaurants, shops, all in one area. So they had the Colony Pizza there. The owner from Trumbull got the bacon onion hot Earl.
Nice, dude.
That was unbelievable. Was watching the end of the Duke UNC game. And then yesterday brought everything to the golf course, this place, Fox Hollow. It was the nicest of the course. The other two were municipals. And it was one of those things where scenery was great. Just could use a little TLC on the fairways. I think a little dry. But it was nice, some nice water holes and stuff. And played the best that I had all the days. Just the putting. I'll get down it now. It's nice. I mean, we're getting warmer weather this week where I could start playing here. So, it was good to get out there, of course. And then a slight delay on the flight last night. I think it left.
What the hell? Why is that?
I think it left. Wind? What was it? An hour later. Yeah, there was some wind.
Unacceptable.
And then of course, this is I'm the worst person for this.
Turbulence.
Yeah. Well, there was little, and then there's a half hour left. Just to let you know, we talked to radio traffic control. We're gonna take all the garbage now. We want everybody to stow everything. They said the turbulence is just going to be like this the whole time, and then it's going to be worse when we land. Repeat it several times. Everybody stay in their seat.
Yeah.
And then the landing too, kind of a like that. And then as we're going across the runway, a little slide because of the wind. So it wasn't anything crazy, but it's of course this has to happen. And then, had to wait a little longer because I checked the golf clubs, so the oversized baggage carousel at JFK. There was 50 people waiting. Somehow, though, I only had to wait I was talking to Josh B. actually on Discord and call him, and I ended up actually only having to wait maybe 15 minutes. But there were 50 people there before me that didn't get their bags. I don't know what that was all about.
That's wild.
So got home at 11, was kind of shot. But yeah, here we are. Great trip. And obviously, like we said, there's some sour note stuff in the world of sports, but it was definitely a great experience. Look forward to going down there again. And, no matter what's going on with our teams, Tony, one way or another, we'll get through it.
Yeah, maybe, dude.
And also, the pumped official spring training hat.
People were pumped for the hat, dude.
Appreciate it.
People
and
pumped for the hat. And the shirt.
Unbelievable.
And shorts.
Shorts and then another
and
shirt.
And a full uniform.
Not the full uniform. Not the full uniform. So yeah, but great trip.
You had a great time, dude. Yeah, that's well deserved.
And now it's back to business. So let's go.
That's right, dude.
And I did see we have a bunch of comments.
Yes, we do. I want to get to Derpies first. He's asking if X is down. X is tight today, dude.
Yeah,
which is a little unfortunate, dude. Yes, for you wasn't. I think maybe they're having an issue on their end. In terms of maybe traffic or whatnot, because it wasn't even loading on our phones in terms of our feed. But back to the top here, we have Josh B in the house says, "Yo, fam, Rangers back to sucking. Great, dude." Yeah, absolutely. Just dumpster fire every weekend. No fucking excuses. And it does kind of suck, dude, because they still have a chance to make the playoffs.
But it's just one of those. It's nothing's changed the last 2 weeks. We keep saying
nothing's changed,
and it's just they don't take advantage of the opportunity.
You had an opportunity, exactly, to be in the wild card spot. come today.
You don't.
And you don't. And you have, I think, Winnipeg coming up, maybe New Jersey, then you play Columbus again.
Great.
And it's like, yeah, it's not good, dude. So Derpy in here. Steelers, baby, he says. That's right, Steelers.
The Metcalf
DK,
trade,
we're talking about it. Who's the
big
QB going to be? We
Aaron
don't know
Rodgers,
yet, dude.
maybe.
Potentially. But I guess we'll see. Michael Buck says, oh, look who's back, dude. Shocker.
Keep going with this comment. I'm going to wait to comment until the end.
Says, all right. Michael says, Barnes, you abandon us too much. And he says, hashtag Boston sucks. Hashtag Domac is ass. Which is actually kind of funny.
He's been extra aggressive recently.
Extra aggressive, dude. And then Michael Buck says Mufasa the Lion King looks overrated in my opinion. Not the same without James Earl Jones voicing Mufasa. I heard nothing but great things about that movie though, Michael. And then Michael, I'm sorry, I don't think Barnes is going to see a movie with you. Let alone Toy Story 5. Ernie says, yeah. And then Michael says, LeBron's out 1 or 2 weeks, avoided a serious groin injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did. I mean, obviously something that's been lingering for him. My mother says good morning. Parents visited yesterday, Brian.
Okay, yeah. That was the Earl.
That was the Earl.
Okay.
Quattro Pazzi.
What did they think? Terrible.
No, they actually really enjoyed it. It was my first time there. I've never been there.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Matt always used to get the Marco Polo, the Gavadil with the, I think sausage and like broccoli rabe or something.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Dude, I had burrata-filled ravioli, fried chicken coated on the sides.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
No, I love Quattro Pazzi.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised at how good it was. It's like some spicy shrimp for appetizer,
Nice,
dude. Oh my God,
awesome.
It was so good. Michael Buck just says, I miss Solo Tony. I want to protest for Solo Tony shows.
But yeah, he wants me to go to Toy Story with him. I think
Yeah.
he wanted me to take him to a Lakers game last week, but then he's saying stuff like that. I don't know.
And he
thought we were best buds, Michael.
Yeah, I thought so too, dude.
Yeah.
And he
Disappointed.
I mean, to piggyback off that, he wants to play a round of mini golf with you this summer. Dude.
Okay. So that
He says it's on him.
that's gonna make it better, right?
If he pays for it, would you go?
I guess he'll have to find out.
Whoa.
I don't know. It depends if he still wants to go off the show.
And then he also wants to know if you bumped into any babies in the plane, dude.
Like, does he mean actual babies, or is he talking about like the babes on the beach with the beers?
I would think
there were
he's-
some. I think there were a couple babies, honestly.
Couple babes?
Babies.
No, yeah, I think maybe that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
The cliche crying baby on the plane doesn't shut up, dude. It happens. And then he says Safari Golf in Berlin, Connecticut. I guess he already has a nice mini golf place picked out for you guy.
Home of the Motel 6s with all the illegal activities.
Seems like Michael Buckton may be all too familiar, dude.
Yeah, right. Why is he over there?
And then Marcus says, hey, buddies, was his birthday yesterday? No, happy belated birthday, Marco. And then Ernie says, my CFB 25 Road to Glory QB is in the national championship. We play Bama at 8 p.m. tonight.
Ernie is up on the video games. I feel like.
I guess
he was
so,
big with
dude.
this show. Now he's talking college football. But yeah, I still have yet to play that game. I've heard good things. I heard it's similar to Madden, but I've yet to play it yet.
I've also heard great things. And then Michael Buck says, Barnes, I'm just kidding with you. Come on now, man.
I don't know, man. You were going pretty heavy. I think it was on Thursday. Was it Thursday?
And Friday, really.
You brought it back. No, it just seems like, Michael, I'm not allowed to take a vacation. If you're not there, then I need to be canned. I mean, that's basically what.
And then, like, all of a sudden, now he's taking steps backwards now. Now he's just kidding. Now that you're back.
Yeah. Now that I'm here, now we're kidding.
Oh, that's funny. And we're all pretty much caught up.
Josh saying, though, happy belated, right?
Josh B just comes in. Yep, happy belated birthday, Marco, dude.
And
then Ernie? Barnes,
from Kearney?
What yanking game? We catch it in the Bronx, dude.
Every single one. Starting with open day. Be there.
Yep.
Come on. Let's go.
Yep.
But yeah, speaking of that, let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yep, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. right, so we already kind of mentioned it, waiting for the official word. But the news came out over the weekend, Gerrit Cole with the elbow soreness. And then yesterday, everyone already had assumed this, but just that, while they have been awaiting, a second opinion, that first opinion is recommending Tommy John, for Gerrit Cole, which obviously would keep him out for this season. You're not getting any positivity out of him or the organization on this, but just, waiting for official word on that. But it's just one of those things, and I had talked about it, I think, yesterday, or was it yesterday? Or no, it was Saturday night, talking to Corey and one of his buddies down there. It's just like, how many times do you actually, have a scenario where someone like, we think it's going to be, but we just got to, how many times is like, we're just going to rehab it, just rub some dirt on it.
Yeah,
it'll be back in a couple of weeks. So, just gearing up for the fact that it seems like that's evident, and, that we're going to be without Cole this year. Obviously, luckily, we signed Max Fried. Luckily, Heel will come back at some point. Luckily, we do have Rodon and Schmidt, and we're going to have to rely on some other guys. But it's something that, you don't want to have happen. The silver lining is, I think they were saying in the regular season anyway, last year without him, I think it was like a 51-27 record. And it's one of the things too. A pitcher goes every 5 days. Obviously, he only made 17 starts last year, but to win these games, sure. And I know, the thought going into this year was, the pitching would carry, the bullpen would carry, the starters would carry. But the offense has got to be there. So if the offense is there, you can find guys to fill in. We can work with what we have right now, and then come trade deadline, if the need is there. We could pick somebody up, but the thing is, it might not be because you still have a strong top four, and Max Fried is a guy who is a number one starter. So they're just very fortunate that they did make that move at the time. That move seemed like, it was, kind of unnecessary, I guess you could say. And now it's like one of those things where it's like, thank God that we did that. So that's gonna get us through, and we're probably gonna have to, for first couple months, have Stroman and Will Warren in the rotation. I know Carrasco's pitching well, but those are the two guys that I would think would fill the void. Sure, maybe some trade that we don't see might come around, but I would think they're going to see how it plays out, right now with the guys that they have. I feel good about Warren, not so much about Stroman, but who knows? He maybe, back against the wall, doubters, maybe he steps up, and you only want him to do it for the first half. That's all you need.
Right.
So, we'll have to see what happens. Besides the obvious here, Tony, what were your thoughts on this?
It sucks. It really does. You don't obviously wish injury upon anyone, no matter what. Bless you. But
actually, a cough.
Yes.
The phlegm.
Yeah, phlegm.
Was it a joke? Like
it was. Yeah, it was a little joke.
Oh.
Come on.
All right.
Did you have some problems in Florida too with the phlegm, or was it all clear?
All clear.
Really?
Warmer weather, kinda, loosening up the mucus.
Yeah. Again, I feel for you. It sucks. You don't want your ace to be out. Nobody wants that for their team, and there is some significant shoes to fill, Brian. And I know you said Gerrit Cole, they did well without him. Only 17 starts last season, but you still need to fill that role. And I guess my question to you would be, who in the rotation right now that you have do you think will step up and take on that ace role?
And they were talking about it on Twitter yesterday. It's Max Fried. He has a
Hands
chance
down.
to become, a beloved Yankee this season. If he steps in, fills that void, is in the Cy Young conversation, that's going to be everything. And then also, too, it's unfortunate, but we kind of went into this year. I talked about it all offseason. Well, now that we have Fried, Rodon's like a 3 or 4, so don't really. Now, we need Rodon to be the guy that we expected when we signed him, and he was very good overall last year. I know there were some blips on the radar, but if he could slightly improve upon that, that would really help. And then, Clark Schmidt was great last year. I mean, obviously, I think he only threw like 85 innings, but, if he's going to be anywhere close to that pitcher that had a sub-3 RA, that's pretty good, and we're not going to rush Heel back, but we know we're going to get him back. And then, you hope that Will Warren has that, Luis Heel type of effect this year. I know he got hammered. Tony, last year in his few appearances, but this spring, the new changeup has worked well and, has been paying dividends. So, just one of those things. So you couple that, with Heel being down. So you got two guys in the rotation, one coming back, one not. And then obviously Stanton, they're trying the third round of PRP injections. But to me, that's another one like where I was talking to this with Josh and Kev last night. It's like, I'm just assuming both of these guys are 100% done for the season. So I think that one, because Stanton usually misses so much time to begin with, I think is one that we can weather. And maybe, there ends up being a silver lining where, it gives a guy like George Lombard Jr. or Spencer Jones an opportunity that maybe they wouldn't have had. So, you think you can fill that internally. And again, if you need to, you could get somebody at the deadline. But that's the one silver lining, though, I would say, is just that the fact that maybe somebody from the farm is going to seize this opportunity. So I would say for me, I am not so much concerned about the offense as just what you're going to get from Will Warren and Marcus Stroman, and specifically Stroman. Like I said, because I don't know. I was at his start Friday. He did fine, allowed a solo home run, but it was so ugly down the stretch. But it's just one of those things, and then you couple the comments that he had, but it's one of those things, performance can change anything. I mean, you're going to instantly garner respect if you come out and produce.
Yes, and we've seen some of the, I guess, first half seasons that he's had with certain teams that are pretty solid. But, I mean, between Stroman and Warren, and I guess we'll throw Carrasco in there for shits and gigs, who do you think we'll be most hyped to be seeing, like, pitching more?
Who am I going to be most hyped to see? I mean, Warren. Definitely. Because, the other guys, I mean, we kind of know what they are. And, I would prefer if neither of them made any starts. Obviously, that's not realistic. But at least Warren comes through the system. And it has been highly touted for a while. I know, you have a bad taste when you have a 10 ERA and a few appearances last year. But that would be something to develop a starter.
You think his numbers would be better than Stroman's first half?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah?
Stroman, I'd be surprised if his ERA is not 5, Oof. But maybe it won't be. Who
knows?
I mean, it was 389 last year, I think. Anyway, something like that. What do you think about Ernie saying relax and that the Yankees should sign Trevor Bauer?
Listen, I love that call for Bauer. I think the Mets should have already signed Trevor Bauer. I mean, I think that guy is, his talent is wasting away, I think, a little bit in the Mexican League. That being said, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the teams and managers and owners know something we don't know about Trevor Bauer, which is why.
You mean that it's collusion, like with Kaepernick? Because to me, that's what it is. There's just an unsaid agreement, that we're not.
Which I don't really know why, to be honest. I mean, you can talk about his, I guess it was sexual harassment allegations, right? Technically, that I think were, he was acquitted from the charge. He was found innocent. So. I don't know. I don't know if that's just a bad publicity for certain teams, but I mean, teams have dealt with worse players on their rosters and kept them around. So I don't know, dude. It is kind of odd, the whole situation, but I would sign Bauer. Yeah. If I was
and he's
the Yankees,
claiming that he would pitch for the minimum.
Yeah. So what? Of course he will, dude. He wants to be back in the show.
But if you had to say though, more worried about public and internal backlash or set agreement?
Set agreement in terms of
all the clubs, hey, we're just not gonna, we're not touching this guy.
Yeah,
it's set agreement, right? It's just one of those things. When it seems like it is, that means it is.
Yeah, it is. Kind of a weird conundrum, if you will. But I guess in terms of Ernie's relax call, I mean, listen, as a fan of a team who's also dealing with injuries, specifically in their starting rotation too. The season hasn't started yet. You have no idea what some of these pitchers are going to look like. And like you said, I mean, you could have Stroman give you a good first half of the year. That's all he needs to do, know? So I mean, I guess I would agree with that sentiment where take a deep breath. Obviously it sucks, grit your teeth, but I mean, it's unfortunately something you're going to have to deal with. And like you said, you're lucky enough to have Max Fried. who, I mean, just honestly a great offseason pickup. I know a lot of people were like a little bit, I don't know, I guess skeptical of Fried because of his age, maybe you overpaid for him, but I don't know, man.
Now
I
it's
mean,
like, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a pitcher that has stifled the Mets lineup for years with the Braves, you know? So, you know, I think he's a great pitcher. He's going to do you probably a lot of good justice. And honestly, I think if Cole does come back midseason, you're probably going to be questioning on whether or not he is going to be your one starter by that time.
He's not coming back midseason.
All right.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
like,
yeah.
Once the Tommy John recommendation,
right? Yeah, you're probably
stop. And it would honestly, I would almost be pissed in a way because it'd be one of those things where you try to do that and then something else happens. Then you have the surgery 4 or 5 months after you should have. Then it holds him back from when he's going to come back next year. It's like if that's what he needs, just get it done.
Yeah.
Anything else from Ernie here?
I guess he's still saying his time to shine, baby, be a starter if you want it so bad. I don't know if he's referring to Stroman or Bauer or Fried.
Oh, no, he's talking about Stroman because he said that he's a starter.
Yeah,
like he's kind of poking fun. Poking the
yeah.
bear, I guess you could
Poking
say.
the bear, dude, the proverbial bear.
Yeah.
Well, he's right, dude. I mean, he should. Yeah, he's Stroman.
But also though, for me, I don't know about you, but because you have Fried, because you have Heel coming back, because I think this offense is gonna be pretty good. I still feel good. And I know, I get, ridiculed, I guess, by certain people about being overly optimistic, this and that. But because I feel like you could trade for someone at the deadline, you have a number one starter with Fried. I still feel like we could still be the best team in the American League. Like I'm not obviously any more major things that were to come out, then the tune changes. But if we could just kind of hold it where we are right now, I feel pretty good. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you still can, certainly. I think you can match up well enough to other teams in your division for sure. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, I think Toronto is questionable. You really don't know what the Red Sox are going to be dealing with. You imagine Buehler, if he's healthy, he's a problem. So, and I guess maybe the O's will be your biggest issue, maybe to start the season. But again, I mean, if you come in and Fried is dealing, and you have some of the younger guys stepping up in your lineup, yeah, I mean, you definitely could win the division.
Oh yeah,
with the current roster,
but
even without Cole, yeah.
I told Colin last night, World Series back on. Let's go. Nothing is stopping us. Nothing. No, but in all seriousness, like I said, because you have Fried, Heel could be really good when he comes back. I like what I saw out of Schmidt. Rodon has that. So, I mean, those are guys, and then we just saw a team, and I know, yes, it was a different team than what we had, but they didn't rip the cover off the ball, but had, 15 starting pitchers last year, and the Dodgers win the World Series? So that's why I'm not going to just lay down and just say that it's over. So,
you're totally right.
Didn't want it, but you could get through it. So let's just see what happens.
You have to get through it.
Yeah. What else we got here?
Looks like Ernie wants to know no grid today, question mark.
I mean, we have to.
We will try the grid. And even Josh B's like, oh, grid, question mark? But it's like, I mean, we're just, covering the sports.
Yeah,
first,
exactly. We'll do that. We'll do that after we talk about the Mets in a second. I was just going to mention yesterday, Yankees, not that it matters, but lose 6-5 to St. Louis, had a lead late. But nice to see Jazz Chisholm. I think it was the first inning, Tony. I mean, I don't know what the distance on the home run was. Looked about 500 feet, honestly. I mean, it was an absolute tank job. So good to see that out of Jazz. He was 2 for 3 yesterday.
Nice.
The 2 RBIs. Really excited to see what he's going to do this year. His first full season as a Yankee. Jason Dominguez also was 2 for 3. Anthony Volpe, 2 for 3 as well with a home run. So you like to see those things. Peraza even had 2 hits. And Carrasco has actually pitched well this spring. 3 innings, 2 hits. 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Nobody else really of note pitched for the Yankees, and they are back on the diamond. I believe it's a 105 game. We'll be on Yes today. And I did see they had the lineups out earlier. Just was going to run over that quickly. The battle against John Pollock here. This one at Steinbrenner Field Will Warren, who we're just talking about, 2-0, 1.13, towing the slab, 11 strikeouts against Kenta Maeda, 0-1, 3.12. Gleyber Torres in his return to George Steinbrenner Field is going to lead off, and he's hit 2 home runs for the Tigers in spring training. Also, former Yankee prospect Trey Sweeney in the lineup for the Tigers. But the Yankees lineup, they've been going with Wells at leadoff, which is interesting. I thought they were going to go with Jazz, but the way that they've been putting Wells in, and I don't know if they just want to kind of toggle back and forth, okay, who does better. And he did hit a leadoff home run when I was at the game on Friday, so that was pretty cool. He's hitting 375 this spring with 2 home runs. He's leading off. Judge batting second. Cody Bellinger's been great as well, hitting 476 with 2 dingers this spring. You got Goldschmidt cleaning up. Trent Grisham in center. Dom Smith DHing. George Lombard Jr. back in the lineup. He has 2 home runs this spring. Yorvit Vivas at second. And then Andrew Velasquez at third. So decent amount of firepower in there. Let's see what Will Warren. I mean, that's the important thing here. And of course, you'd love to see, Bellinger and Wells and Lombard continue their strong starts of the spring. So let's go. But yeah, that's really it on the Yankees. I know you allude to it, but the Alvarez on a swing, right? A batting practice swing, 8 weeks on a. Well, what's the name of the injury?
It's kind of complicated to be honest, dude. But he has a fracture of a certain bone in his hand. It's going to require surgery. And again, this is Alvarez now, second year in a row is going to have an issue with that hand. So
a little concerning.
Very concerning, especially if you're someone in the catching position, too. You kind of need that. So, I don't know. It is tough, 4 to 6 weeks. But, again, what are you going to do? You just kind of got to figure it out, next man up sort of deal. In terms of, this past weekend, though, in terms of games and stuff, yesterday, I believe, was a 7-6 loss to Washington. But, to build off of, Alvarez being injured, Jackson Reitz hits a grand slam catcher.
Is he going to start?
I guess it's wide open, I suppose, if, for the rest of spring training. I don't know. I mean, you look at him, I think he's 29 years old, Reitz, and has not even a full season in the MLB ever. So, it seems like maybe he's a little bit past his prime, but you never know. It may just be a nice, timely grand slam for him. But I would say the bigger storyline from yesterday was Clay Holmes going, I think, 3 1/3 with no earned runs, a couple Ks, dude. I mean, he's been pretty lights out this spring training. He definitely has been getting them more consistent starts out of any pitcher, I feel, on the Mets roster, and hasn't given up a run yet. So, he's been doing, with being on a new team in New York, I think very well right now, which is great considering the injuries to the pitching staff. So you're hyped. Today, I believe you're going to be playing the Cardinals. You got Griffin Canning, I think, making his second spring season start. He's another pitcher who hasn't really given up any runs yet, but definitely still someone you have a little bit of a question mark next to his name in terms of what you can expect from him. I think St. Louis is starting Sonny Gray, dude, who's in his aged 35 season. How about that, dude? So in terms of the lineup, let me see if the lineup is out. It normally is by now. Let's see. Preview matchups, not lineups, dude. So I guess they're not out. 6:10 game, so a little bit later. And then, I guess, Mendoza seems pretty positive. It is only 4 to 6 weeks. You hope Alvarez can just come back and be fully healthy. It's tough, dude. I mean, you're really going to want to rely on him a lot for offensive production, let alone being, your leader behind home plate. So, when something like that happens to start the year, it's just, oh my God, it's just absolutely gut-wrenching. Which is really wild that, both New York teams are taking an absolute beating in terms of injuries before the season even starts. What once felt so good in New York now feels so, dark and dreary and just fucking, why even bother, the Rangers suck. Mets and Yankees are injured, dude. What good is there? Really none. None at all. Brian, lock yourself out, dude. All right, I'm coming. Brian locked himself out of the studio. How funny is that, dude? Oh.
All right. My bad. Always during the Mets segment. No, it wasn't on purpose. Everybody else thinks it was,
yeah.
right?
No,
right.
yeah. I'll be free around 10:40. Give me a call. Oh, all right. We're back, dude. That's it. Sonny Gray on towing the slab for the Cards against the Mets today.
Okay.
Griffin Canning. We'll
How's
see what
he
happens.
pitched so far?
I think this is his second start. I think he has like an inning 2/3. Looks good. Couple Ks, no earned runs. But again, I mean, I think the sample size is too small to have like a ton of confidence in him right now. So, but I mean, today is gonna be another litmus test, Brian. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He's on the fringe.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, you kind of need him, right? I mean, who else would start if it's
You
not
do
him?
need him.
Yeah. So. See what happens. You never know, right? You never know.
No, yeah,
you
yeah.
could turn some heads, or
Lightning in
maybe
a bottle.
we could work a deal for Carrasco. If you guys want to bring him back.
Right.
But basically, Tony, I think you're saying time to do the grid or no?
Oh shit. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do the grid, dude.
Ernie
hyped up. By the way, he says that Jazz hit that ball 446 feet.
I
he
knew
said,
it was
dude.
a tank job.
Absolute tank job, dude. Oh, okay. All right, hold on. So everyone stand by here.
Is that today's?
It must
I know
be.
it's today's.
Today's number 708, right? I mean, let's
Yep.
see. Previous grids. I mean, it's from today, the 10th. So let me share it here with the folks at home. Bang. And then we're going to edit. And we're going to do a little bit of that action. And then we're going to throw up Immaculate Grid. Sweet, dude. All right.
First one, I was thinking Mike Hampton.
Mike Hampton, you think that's too obvious?
Either that or Anders Galarraga, right?
I feel like,
What?
Galarraga, maybe less.
It definitely was on the Braves, right? Like, no question. I mean, you were. I mean, I guess no, you weren't really watching because you were too young. But
I can kind of picture the jersey, though.
right. You think Hampton's that obvious though?
I mean, that's the first person I thought of, so
Yeah.
it kind of seems like it would be.
I'm just trying to think about other alternatives here.
Other alternatives.
But just keep the grid up because otherwise,
Oh, yeah, the big grid? Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Just making sure.
For first base, for the Braves, Julio Franco. I think that's not gonna be that obvious.
No, that's not that obvious.
Yeah, do that one.
Julio Franco.
1%.
There we go.
Twins and Braves.
Josh Donaldson. That's probably gonna be too obvious.
Is it though?
I don't know. It sounds obvious to me, but again, this is the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. Just trying to.
I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah. Ernie? Anything here?
Denny. He says Denny Neagle.
Yes, for the Braves and the Rockies.
Rockies.
Yeah, that's better. Former Yankee too. 5%.
5%.
But that's fine. Look, his face wasn't that chubby. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Do Donaldson too. Just breeze through it.
Just get some numbers on the board. Oh, that's why I spelled it wrong. Donaldson, Josh.
Okay, well, I guess at least you could say you were right? So you feel good about that?
Yeah, I do. I do feel good about it.
Now, did Jorge, or is it? I was gonna say Jorge Polanco, but did he
play short?
Yeah, but the Twins, no.
Right?
Try
Or
to-
see, did
300 career. This is, but 300 career first base, too. I'm just trying to think of everything here.
Paul Goldschmidt?
Mark Teixeira.
You think the chair is that too obvious?
Trying to think of other guys. Jason Giambi.
Harmon Killebrew?
Did he play first? Definitely. I don't know if he was a first baseman.
Fuck.
Don't put that on me.
Damn it. I want to say he was.
Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza might be a good one.
Do it. Probably it's gonna be 20%, but just do it. 2%.
2%. There we
Okay.
go.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then the shortstop and first base, definitely A-Rod. That's gonna be a good one.
Just that first base, A-Rod.
Okay. It was so much less when it was just first base. Remember Anything from Ernie here? Eddie Murray.
Ernie says Greg Nettles for Twins Braves and Eddie Murphy. Yes, is who you're thinking of. Greg Nettles for Twin Braves.
Twins. Oh, but we already did.
We did. Yeah.
And then the shortstop. I was trying to think who was. Oh, Tulowitzki's probably too obvious.
Shortstop for Colorado. Ernie says Juan.
Uribe. Yeah, do that. For Colorado.
All right.
There we go.
1%, dude. 1%er, baby.
So a shortstop for the Twins.
I don't know who he refers to as Eddie Murray.
I know he didn't play short.
Rockies 300. Todd Hamilton. Greg Gagne for Twins for shortstop for the Twins.
I have no idea who that even is.
The name kind of looks familiar.
Gagne.
Shortstop, yes.
Greg Gagne, Twins shortstop. If he's wrong, I mean, this is gonna kill a great grid.
Greg.
Yeah. 9%.
9%.
Interesting. All right, so 300 home run hitters here. So let's think about this for a second.
I mean, Rockies 300.
I feel like Rockies is kind of tough, no?
It is kind of tough.
Because did Helton have 300? I don't know.
I think so.
Because I feel like he was nasty with the power, and then it just fell off. And then who else was? Did Galarraga have 300? He was more on the Braves or the
Twins.
No. The Braves or the Rockies. He was part of that Rockies team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Larry Walker? Larry Walker had to have 300 home runs, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Well, you seem uncertain.
No, but Hall of Famer. I mean, he had to have 300.
You would think so. You really think Helton didn't?
So close. Just check Ernie real quick.
Just check Ernie real quick.
Vinny Castilla. I could see him not,
I could see him hitting it, though.
I feel like Larry Walker had to have 300 home runs.
Don't go Larry, Ernie says.
Really?
Arenado for Rockies in home runs?
300, though?
He has 300 home runs? I mean, I guess he's been in the league long enough, too.
But 30 for 10? I don't know if he has 300 home runs, though.
I would say he doesn't, but...
This is so hard, honestly.
Ernie says yes.
Yes, with what?
Caps. Probably to Arenado.
Ernie, just one more time, confirm that. Or Twins, though. Twins.
Twins 300.
Like who?
Would you say Polanco? No, you were talking about
No.
for short.
I don't know why I'm having trouble with Twins power hitters, like real big power hitters.
I'm trying to think of even. I'll take the thrashing if I'm wrong. He says.
Okay, go Arenado.
Arenado.
I feel like he's wrong, but go ahead. Okay. Wow.
5% too, not a lot.
Yeah. All right. So the Twins.
What Vinny, Josh
Vinny?
says.
Oh. Thanks, Ernie. Should have never doubted you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because Kirby Puckett didn't have the power. Paul Molitor didn't have the power. Nelson Cruz.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a lot, but that's fine. Nelson Cruz.
53.
53?
What was the percentage on that?
11.
11, but
Lower than I thought.
But it's just nice that we're back to the 1-for-1s, not missing the first guy every time. These were the most popular guys.
Yeah.
So Hampton.
Hampton, yeah, for Colorado, 300 home runs.
Banks, Albert.
Or sorry,
Pujols.
for Braves, Rockies.
Harmon Killebrew.
Harmon Killebrew, there
30,
it is.
Good thing we didn't do that one.
Yeah, 30%.
Correa,
Good thing
Larry
Walker.
Larry, right?
Larry, dude, 30%.
Solid grid though, I have to say.
Yeah, that was
collaborative
good.
effort. Yeah, thanks to Ernie and Josh.
Pujols is a good one for playing first base, 300 career home runs. That's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go now to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Mika Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle! Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right.
Ernie says great job, by the way.
This is breaking news of 5 minutes ago. Saw this in the TCA chat, courtesy of Ian Rappaport. The return of the Mac, Tony. Khalil Mack.
Wow.
1 year, $18 million, fully guaranteed, per Ian Rappaport. So, Mac obviously is not the same guy when he first came into the league, but still provides the pressure off the edge. So I think that was a good, no risk type of deal. 1 year, and the Chargers look to build on that playoff appearance they had in Jim Harbaugh's first year as head coach. And speaking of bringing the pressure off the edge, big news over the weekend. How about Myles Gerrit?
Yeah.
Record extension, $40 million per year, $123.5 million in guaranteed money. So it's a 4-year, $160 million deal, and this is after an offseason of Gerrit demanding a trade, saying he has a desire to win. We were all joking about this on Discord last night, but it's like the desire to win dissipated after he was guaranteed $123.5 million. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, obviously good for him. He deserves the money, but you just have to wonder, like, was that a ploy, or is it just he not expecting him to step up? Like what was really the deal there?
It seems like he was using that as leverage to get the most money, but maybe he was expecting to get the type of offer from different teams.
Yeah.
And now kind of is settling with Cleveland. So it's just like you said, I mean, you're not going to win there. It's going to take a miracle if you do win there. So. Yeah. Clearly, I mean, the paycheck kind of outweighed
it's like
the
want
to win. Yeah, it is. It is.
And speaking of big paychecks, Tony, the Bills, 6 years, $330 million to NFL MVP Josh Allen. And he will be 34 years old when the final year of this contract begins. So I think it's a great deal for the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen is the Bills. All the hope of the Bills finally getting over the hump, winning a Super Bowl, right on Josh Allen. So you had to have him. It's huge money. But you think about other teams, I think everybody would have an open checkbook to get a quarterback like Josh Allen. So smart move by the Bills.
Yeah, I think so. And he's breaking records with that signing. I believe that is the most guaranteed money for a quarterback in the history of the NFL. But I mean, he deserves it. You said it. He is the Bills. After last season, I think he became the first player or the first quarterback in the history of the NFL to have more than 25 passing touchdowns, more than 10 rushing touchdowns, and then less than 10 interceptions, which, I mean, keeping the ball in his hands has been something he's been working on for his entire career, and seemingly coming off of the best year of his career. I mean, how do you not justify this contract?
And how about to take it a step further? Allen has accounted for 260 touchdowns in his career via passing or rushing, the most in the player's first 7 seasons in NFL history, 29 more than next closest player, who is
Tom Brady? I don't know. Russell Wilson? Rushing and throwing? Is that what you said, dude?
Same type of age as Allen.
Same age, Lamar Jackson. Type of age?
Patrick Mahomes. Come on, Tony.
Who the hell thinks about Mahomes anymore, dude?
I mean, not
Take
you.
a fucking hike, dude.
Oh, yeah. Now
Honestly.
everything's changed, right? Now he's terrible. He's done.
I didn't say he's terrible.
Let's have the solo Tony
Take a fucking
show.
hike, dude.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. Okay. And then another big contract came about Davante Adams recently released by the Jets. Moving on to the Los Angeles Rams. 2-year deal, $8 million base salary in 25, $16 million in 26. 25 base salary is guaranteed. $6 million roster bonus guaranteed on the third day of the 26th league year. $12 million signing bonus and $1 million available in incentives each year. And this move for the Jets cleared $29.9 million from the cap space. So obviously, they had to clear him up and get out of that. Adams, it just wasn't going to work with a new regime there. But I love the move for the Rams. I don't know what you think, though.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're definitely going to need some receivers now. I
think he's better than Kupp because Kupp struggled with the injuries. Yeah. He's a bigger body, right? I mean, he can go up in traffic and get it.
Yeah, he can. He's a 50-50 ball guy for sure. But I mean, I don't know if I could sit here and say that he's a great replacement for Cooper Kupp. Because I don't know, when Kupp is on the field, he just demands so much attention. He does have a lot of receptions. He's someone who could change a drive, which I don't know. I mean, I know Davante Adams with Rodgers last season, the Jets had some good catches, but I don't know. It seemed like maybe he's lost a step or two in his age a little bit, but I guess we'll see. I mean, in terms of the Rams, though, I mean, it is a good move. You need a receiver. Do you need more? Probably.
Yeah. So, it'd be interesting to see who ends up getting Kupp. I think they're saying he's going to be released, but I don't know. Do you think, too? I mean, I know we kind of talked about that when it first came out, but you don't quite see it. You think they're just trying to get ahead of it too much there with Kupp?
Yeah.
Just because he's had some injury problems.
Yeah. I can see him going to the Steelers.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I know we teased it at the beginning of the show. The Steelers trading a second-round pick, swapping a 6 and a 7, and not only acquiring DK Metcalf, but signing him to a 5-year, $150 million extension. The 27-year-old was entering the final year of a 3-year, $72 million extension he signed in 2022. And this bumps him up to $30 million annually. And puts together, a pretty good tandem there in Pittsburgh with DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Obviously, it's a lot of dough, but he is only 27, and we don't know who the Steelers quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Fields? Is it going to be Rodgers? Is it going to be Russell Wilson? What do you think about this?
I love it. I think he's worth it.
He's insane.
It really is. He is insane, dude. I mean, talk about someone who you can trust going up for a 50-50 for a jump ball or something like that. He's that physical. He's got the speed. He's got also, talk about someone who wants to win. He asked for the trade. He asked to get out of Seattle, especially after they dealt Geno. He's like, you know what? This isn't a place I can win here. So
you're talking about Darnold, maybe?
Yeah, which, oh, my gosh. But now at this point, to see him, too, with an organization like the Steelers who, not for nothing, you're almost guaranteed to make the playoffs if you're playing for the Steelers, So it's at this point, they're building upon last year. You're creating a better receiving core. Hopefully, maybe the defense this season steps up. And, yes, there's a question mark for quarterback position. But, honestly, if I'm DK Metcalf or anyone else part of the Steelers organization, I feel like that the Steelers have more opportunity at the QB position more than anything. You're choosing between Fields or Wilson or Rodgers, all of which are good options in my opinion. So, it just doesn't really seem like that the Steelers signing him, great job, and then DK wanting to go to Pittsburgh also seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see who's throwing him the ball, but he's going to get targets early and often, and I think it helps both receivers, him and George Pickens, that the attention can't be solely focused on them. So I think it's going to open up a lot of opportunities down the field. We got a couple more comments.
Wow, dude, actually, yeah, Michael Buckta here. The Steelers fan himself says, all I'm saying is this. Metcalf and Pickens are going to be crying like babies on the sidelines for not getting the damn ball enough. Going to be getting into lots of fucking fights. Let me tell you. What do you think about that, Brian?
I think they definitely have a tendency to really want the ball. But it depends who the quarterback is, And sure, that's going to happen. But I have a feeling, like I said, they're going to play off of each other. And I think it's going to work out really well. And it'll take this Steeler offense to the next level, which we've seen, kind of be kind of stagnant over the last couple of years, where they have a ceiling of how high they can really score and end up, setting records for field goals. Boswell kicking 7 a game,
So, with that, where Pickens and Metcalf are going to want a lot of ball share here. Do you think if you're Mike Tomlin, are you looking at a quarterback who has a better arm, such as like Aaron Rodgers, or you think he's leaning towards like keeping Wilson or using Fields? Because
I think Rodgers.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's the best move, but I just think you got two big targets for him. You'd think he'd play well, good coaching staff, good defense, and that would be attractive to Aaron. Because you have a team you would feel like you're ready to compete, right?
Yeah. So come week 1, Rodgers.
That's my guess. We'll see, right? Wiz Khalifa, halftime
Wiz
show.
Khalifa, black and yellow.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Interesting. Ernie too says the same thing. 2 crash outs at wide receiver 1 is going to be very interesting. Michael Buckton says QB is my concern. Can't play offense without a QB. I don't want to see Boswell kick 6 to 7 field goals a game. I want more TDs, dude.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I guess I didn't really think of it this way about Pickens and Metcalf having so much like they're going to be butting heads already. Do you think Ernie and Michael are a little bit like it's a little bit too much too soon?
No, I understand it because they have done that, but it's like I think it's going to be a different offense.
Yeah.
So if you have a quarterback who's getting both guys the ball, there's not going to be a problem. We've seen offenses like the Rams, when everybody was healthy, go right where you have 2 guys that have great numbers like Nakua and Kupp. So why can't it be like that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And to kind of go off of what they're saying as well, it seems like that they're, Bucks are saying the QB is their concern. Obviously, Ernie with the wide receiver 1, the ball share, whatever. I don't know. Watching the Steelers season last year and thinking of the chances and opportunities they've have on offense at this point, I'm kind of more concerned about their defense not stepping up. We saw them like just having the inability to stop a good offense late in the season last year, which obviously caused them for an exit the postseason here. So, I don't know. And not for nothing, I've expected more from their defense.
Yeah, I think that did happen down the stretch, but it's Pittsburgh. I fully expect them to figure that out, make some tweaks to the roster, and I think they'll have one of the top units in the league.
No, I hope so, dude. I hope so. Buckta says effing terrible OC, and then Michael Theophil says legends.
I'm trying to think, is it
Adi?
Right?
I want to say right. I don't know though.
Arthur Smith, gotta be.
Let's see if it is.
Yeah. And he was in contention for the North Carolina job before that went to Bill Belichick. And I did see actually Michael Buckhead asked me who the player in the MLB that I hate the most. And I would say Jose Altuve.
Wow.
Right? Once a cheater, always a cheater, no?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what they say, dude.
Yeah. And then also J.C. Horn, 4 years, $100 million for the Panthers. So a big payday
Didn't see that.
for their young defensive back. Highest paid defensive back in NFL history.
Wow.
For J.C. Horn, son of Joe, the former Saints wide receiver.
Worth it?
It seems a little hefty, but
at
the same time, Carolina, they need some type of building blocks, and when he's in the lineup, he's good.
Would you have offered him that if you were GM Carolina?
I guess it's just you have to think about what deals are coming up, but I don't think they have many guys on the roster right now. What do we think Bryce Young's gonna get $500 million?
No.
It's like I think that's why, because you have to give the money to somebody and give it to the guy that you're competent in. And Michael Bucket wants to know if I remember Daniel Murphy. Does Tony remember Daniel Murphy?
This is the second time he asked that, dude.
He asked you last week.
No. He asked you this earlier.
Daniel Murphy?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. I don't know why.
Because it was just like, I forget what we were talking about, but it just didn't really pertain to anything we were talking about. Yeah, he says at 10:50, okay, so this is 20 minutes ago. Hey, Barnes, have you heard of Daniel Murphy? Have you heard of him? Have you heard of him? Has Michael heard of him?
Oh, my God. That was crazy, though, how that whole thing happened and how, wasn't it, like, I don't know if it was Keith Hernandez or Gary Cohen earlier that year who called him a Met negative, Daniel Murphy?
It definitely was Keith. Yeah.
Tight.
As always, classic. Yeah. But yeah, one of the craziest, postseason runs of hitting that I've seen ever. Talk about just taking command of a series, like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, dude. And then Michael Buck just says Jose Altuve is a prick, and Machado Manny, that is a D-bag.
And then Michael Buck drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking I love Gary Cohen, that nasally fuck. Tony, come on. We haven't even talked about it all season yet. I'm just joking around.
Season hasn't started yet.
Oh man, but I'm trying to think if there is really anything else about the NFL, but I feel like those were like the main, storylines.
Yeah, I think so. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Grady Gerrit cut,
right,
and then Pat's trading Shaw to the Saints.
Good for the Saints.
Defensive tackle Davin Gottshall for a 7th-round pick. It's 30-year-old, 9th season, 2 years remaining on an extension. And then I did see, too, as they like to say, the Saints massage the cap a little bit with Derek Carr's contract. So I guess he's going to be back, some signing bonus conversions, whatever you want to call it, Tony.
Oh, God, dude.
But I think I think that is really it.
Yeah.
For the NFL, obviously a ton of news around the corner, a lot of free agents to be signed, the draft next month. So let's see what happens. But if we could go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes! McDavid shoots! Top shelf! He scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle pick! It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide! Made the full split save!
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
All right. So a tough weekend for the New York Rangers, dropping both of their games, one in overtime, one getting shellacked at home by the Columbus Blue Jackets. I caught some of that game yesterday. Did not see the Ottawa game. Was golfing, when that one was going on. But I know you were at Rico's, the pie, the heartbreak, the 3-1 third period, lead that was blown. I mean, give it to us straight here.
I mean, there really wasn't any excuse here. You said it. You're going into you're in the third period. You're up 3-1, and you let up 2 goals. With 9 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, dude. I mean, you just really shot yourself in the foot with that one. And on top of it, the Ottawa Senators have some of the worst 5-on-5 hockey around the NHL. I think they have the least amount of 5-on-5 goals this season with, I think, like 90-something, I think. Mm-hmm. And what do, dude? You give them 5 power play opportunities over the course of the game. You would think, let's keep ourselves out of the box. No, dude, you don't do that. You let Brady Tkachuk skate all over you, dude. He scores 2 goals with the game winner. And, I mean, it's just not – it just wasn't good, dude. And I think I have a big reason why. Because, again, I mean, obviously – Rangers not having the season they wanted to, okay? And obviously, like a lot of different personnel changes here at this point. Chris Kreider was activated off of the IR as the internet now is not seemingly working here, but that's totally fine, I guess. Post-game interview, I'll just talk about it. I don't have to show it. I mean, Brady Tkachuk is just absolutely floored by the fans of Ottawa. It just seems like he was just so stoked to win that game, against a team like the Rangers, to have an opportunity that he has right now with his team, to be the leader, to be in a wild card position, to come back down from 2 goals, to win it in overtime. I mean, he was just absolutely elated. And, I mean, I feel like that was, things we've not seen from the Rangers really all season long, to be honest, dude. It's been nothing but sour grapes all year long. There really wasn't. And this was the opportunity to maybe, have that moment.
Breaking news just for Michael Butka.
Stop it.
Will Chamberlain, Terrace Reed Jr., Michael, named 6th Man of the Year of the Big East Conference. So Terrace Reed Jr. getting the accolades, maybe not quite Wilt, Tony, but winning the 6th Player of the Year, 6th Man of the Year award. So I'm sure Michael cheesing somewhere. And thinking that the NHL has lost fans because of Doc's retirement, but is riled
That's ridiculous.
for Terrace Reed, and he thinks Tony can name him the 2015 roster by heart of the Mets.
That's what he just said?
Yeah. Tony, tell me by heart.
Wow, dude. Like the whole roster?
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
September call-ups, like.
Oh, dude, that's tough, dude. I don't know if I could do
No,
that.
like obviously you would get some, but I mean, come on.
By the way, Twitter is just straight up down. By the way,
Again,
like, yeah, and I'm look. There's articles out. Twitter down. Elon Musk X suffers major outage due to users' fury. I guess I don't know who cares. I'm looking for this video for Brady Tkachuk, and again, Twitter normally would be great. Brady Tkachuk post game interview after Rangers game. Brady Tkachuk post game media versus. Let's see if there's no, probably not. Huh? Oh shit! It really was. I mean, and I didn't realize. I guess Brady Tkachuk just had a kid as well. So a whirlwind of emotions. And mind you, this is on the heels of them trading Josh Norris on Friday at the deadline for Dylan Cousins from Buffalo. And if you saw Brady Tkachuk's interview before the game about the trade,
he was choked up.
He was tearing up about his boy being traded. And obviously here he is completing the comeback. This has got. I think this is.
It's all because
Yeah, dude.
you guys. It's all because.
I mean, it is. I wish this wasn't a short, dude. I fucking. It's over.
Wow.
Sorry. No, we'll watch it. Whatever. Why, dude? Why? Why is Twitter down?
It's all because of you guys.
It's all because of you guys, dude. Is what he says, dude. It's just like again, like he's choked up again. Obviously, an emotional deadline, an emotional game for him, and I mean, he just absolutely gives it to all the fans.
Let's go! Here we go! Wow. Oh, man. You know what? Just so thankful for all the support. Just as a kid, just have fun with whatever you're doing. But no, this means more than you guys know, so thank you.
Wow.
I mean, that's the type of, I guess, attitude and sentiment you would want someone from the Rangers organization to have. But you don't have that, dude. You don't have that opportunity for a player to say thank you and to be like, wow, like, let's go, hype up the home crowd. Again, you maybe had the opportunity to bounce back on Sunday, but you didn't. So instead, you're handing the wild card spot over to teams that you're fighting with for. So
Not a good feeling.
no, it's not a good feeling at all, dude. And there's really no I can sit here and I can talk about some of the good goals. Okay, yes, you're hyped for Carson Souzy's first game goal. It was great. The review, the slow, whatever. Mika, March. Killing it since February, opens up the second period. Rangers go up 2-0. You feel pretty good about it. You even get Panarin with an absolute ripper of a shot to put them up 3-1, and you feel good about that. But again, a minute later they score, and late in the game they tie it up. And then even in overtime, 30 seconds in. I mean, the Rangers have been absolute dog shit in overtime. And of course, the goal. Was it the bad pass? I'm trying to think, dude. I think it was, dude, right? It was that fucking pass from Miller. I think it was from Miller to Miller, to be honest. Or was it Schneider? Let's see, Brady. Did you see the goal?
I might have.
OT goal.
Might as well pull it up.
Yeah, I will, dude. Oh my God. Ridiculous. And it's just it was such a classic 3-on-3 give up in overtime. He pushed real hard, had a great opportunity. Allmark with the save, and then it was just back the other way, dude. Yeah, it was that. All right, cool. Yeah, not really that cool. But yeah, you're gonna see it right here. I think that's Miller. Yeah, that bad pass, and then also obviously bad pass, but dude, not for nothing. Look at Miller right now. You should be skating right at Tkachuk, and even JT Miller is a little bit. I actually just want to make sure this is up for the people. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So you have that bad pass, dude, which is unacceptable, by the way.
To Ottawa's.
Like, look at this. Like, this pass is so horrible,
yeah, it's
dude.
not even close.
Like, not even close. And then there's no reaction. There's no reaction. Okay? And then look at this, dude. Miller here is, I guess, pointing. Keandre's talking to JT as in maybe, like, get the other guy or something. I don't know what communication. There is none. Let me just lower this, dude. Let me mute this and lower it.
Probably already copyright school.
Maybe, dude. Like there must be. I don't know. Miller points. Keandre points to Tkachuk as in like somebody cover him, but then Miller covers nobody. Both Millers cover nobody. Like, look how much space. What are you doing, dude? Both of you are covering no one took the man.
Terrible.
And then no one takes the puck because the puck goes through all of you. And there's Tkachuk coming in hot, and that's it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. No, and especially after blowing the 3-1 lead.
Like, you got to be kidding me, dude. Like, you have to be kidding me. That was some of the most embarrassing display of overtime hockey I've ever seen in my life.
Now, more of an embarrassment yesterday or on Friday?
I guess yesterday.
Or was it Saturday? Was it back-to-back days?
Saturday, yeah. Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday. Like, are you kidding me?
I mean, listen, dude. Yesterday, I can.
Already trying to rub it in, by the way. Says the Knights don't do this.
I mean, the Knights don't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, dude. It's tough. I mean, I can pull up the goals from yesterday. It's just the Rangers just refuse to defend the middle of the ice, which is what they've struggled with all year long.
Right.
But I mean, it was so blatant. I forget the schmo who had the hat trick, second career hat trick, whatever, dude. Justin Danforth had a goal. Zach Werenski, and he had him all fucking game long. But it was just literally like everyone was just hanging out right in front of Quick with close to no like what's the word I'm looking for here? Close to no contest. No contest, dude.
Like, not even just
like
just sitting there.
Nothing. Yes, literally sitting there like guys who are not looking, not paying attention, and the middle of the ice was just open all goddamn day long. And then I don't know what it is like. Because you watch the end of the game, I don't know if it is maybe because Columbus is up, maybe they're playing back and they're playing defense and giving the Rangers time and space. But it's just like, there's 7 minutes left. You're down by 4, and then all of a sudden now you start with a barrage of shots. Like where is that all game?
Yeah.
Like where is that all game? Where is your sense of urgency? Like there is none.
Why is it so inconsistent?
Why is it so inconsistent? Like, why are you so bad? Like, why? Why are you bad is what I want to say to these guys. I want to be in the locker room. Why are you bad?
Yeah.
Because it was fucking disgraceful of what you put out there this weekend. At the Garden, too, you get fucking pounced on by Columbus.
Who's
of
beaten
all
you every game
teams,
this year.
dude. Of all teams, dude. The fucking Blue
no
Jackets.
Lincolns.
No Mers Lincolns, okay, dude, no Elvis. You're in your own building, and it's Columbus, our team that's been dog shit forever, okay? A team that traded away Panarin, okay? A team that had someone like Rick Nash, and then he went to the Rangers, okay? And then he sucked, whatever. But a team that has always been trash, okay, dude?
And the thing is, even though you're still, and I know we keep saying this, 1 point back, but the problem is you've played 2 more games than Ottawa, 1 more game than Columbus, and they both have a tiebreaker over you. So it's just like, you gonna win sometime? Like,
are you? This was the time. This was the fucking pivotal weekend, and you absolutely blew it.
Yeah.
Okay, you fumbled it beyond fumble. It really, really so horrible, dude. You had an opportunity to control your own destiny. Like you said, Brian, I mean, these teams have less games played than us. And we're not ahead of them in the standings, so it looks even less than we're gonna make a wild card. And you have to play these games again. You have to play Ottawa again, dude. Who's probably gonna be
Columbus
again, dude. And these guys are hungry. They are the dogs. All right, they're looking at the Rangers and this Rangers team is stacked. We're beating a better team than us. Like, that's what their mentality is. They feel like underdogs, regardless of how the Rangers done this season, because the Rangers are just an organization like that. You go into Madison Square Garden, you feel like an underdog.
Right.
And they're beating you. So it's, it's even like feeding into their momentum. I don't know who they have now. I would imagine maybe Columbus does a little bit of Islanders, maybe, I don't know, probably on the East Coast.
Oh, by the way, it's
right?
just Columbus. They don't play Ottawa again.
They don't play Ottawa
I think
again?
they got swept, though, by Ottawa.
It sounds right.
Yeah.
Not
so
good,
kiss
dude.
of death, or?
I mean, basically, dude, and your next game is against Winnipeg, I think, tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah. In Winnipeg.
It's not good. Winnipeg is the best team in the league, one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not good at all, dude. You know, and then like every game is becoming more and more of a must-win, and I don't think your schedule really necessarily gets any easier, to be honest.
No,
dude.
I was just looking at it. It's kind of a gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet,
Minnesota,
right?
So on the road, Minnesota and Columbus.
That's right.
Home for Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, and then on the road for L.A., Anaheim, San Jose.
West Coast swing.
And then back to, home for Minnesota, at New Jersey, home to Tampa. I mean, not many cupcakes in there. And even you want to say Anaheim and San Jose, Anaheim probably will win, honestly. San Jose, that's like the one, quote-unquote, easy game on the schedule. But is it going to be? I mean, I don't even know.
Is it going to be? Exactly. You don't even know, dude. So, and
you think it's because Doc Emmerich?
Dude.
That's why.
No, it has no Michael Buckton. Okay, dude.
But he was so iconic, Tony.
I mean, he was. He absolutely was iconic. But it doesn't matter. I guess
it sucks. It sucks.
Really
so it's basically
bad,
for
dude.
you right now. It's just onto the Mets. At this point, I mean, like, you don't even want to watch the game at this point.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I mean,
if they beat Winnipeg, are you gonna be back or?
I mean, I guess maybe it just sucks because you need Ottawa to lose. You need Columbus to lose. And it's like, I mean, I guess maybe
Ottawa plays Pollock's Red Wings tonight. So.
But I mean, Red Wings need to win, but they haven't been playing well as of recently.
So they're due.
I guess so. I mean, not for nothing. Like Columbus and Ottawa weren't playing well in their last 10 games.
But the Rangers, the get right
just
spot
fucking
this year.
just can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's so pathetic, and it really is. Like fucking fire everyone. Like that's the sentiment. Like it's like if this doesn't work out, you gotta just fucking fire everyone.
I mean, to me, it seems like though it's Laviolette is gonna go and then Drury's gonna stay. If I had to guess.
I mean, I wouldn't. I was thinking about this weekend.
Interim coach.
I mean, Drury has been not a terrible GM. Like he's made significant moves to try and make this roster better. I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that it's not something from Laviolette or just in the locker room or something because, I mean, the talent on the roster should be there. We've seen the glimpses. Like you know what they're capable of, but it's just the execution is absolutely dog shit. You have Drury bringing in other defensemen. I mean, Will Borgen, by the way, his fight last night, I don't know if you saw. I forget who it was on Columbus, had a really dirty check on Vinny T into the boards. Like it was one of those like back against him, defenseless player, and just Crocs checks him to the boards. Not good. Borgen, haymakers right away. He's been a great addition. Honestly, Calvin DeHaan, he's been a solid defenseman. You're looking at Soucy now as well. I feel like, Drury did pivot well enough to bring in other players. If it is Laviolette not being able to use them correctly, it's tough for me to say necessarily. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe interim coach, Drury still GM. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but you're going to need someone needs to sit down with these guys in the locker room and fucking talk to them.
Yeah. Like what?
Because what the hell is right?
Yeah.
There's no reason for this.
Yeah. No, it's tough. It really, really is tough. So hope and a prayer to avoid 4 in a row against Winnipeg tomorrow. And you're laughing about the Dalmatian?
Yeah.
I mean, a little aggressive there from Michael, huh?
Yeah, dude. He just told Josh B he owns him.
I mean, wow. Okay. I feel like Michael just at this point just feels like he could just say anything to anybody, offend him, not offend him. It doesn't matter, right, Tony?
Yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah. I mean, what does he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
He doesn't give a shit about your feelings.
Terrace Reed.
Yeah.
No. But what do you say here? I think what do we got? A nice and tidy 4-pack. So I think it would be time to do, Tony, a Monday edition of the Frozen Frenzy, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm.
Yeah. All right, dude. I guess let's do it. Frenzy. You said it's a 5-pack. It's Monday.
4-pack.
4-pack, dude. Even better. Get through it early. Forget about it. I'm going to start at 7 p.m., dude. Let's go to Buffalo, New York, that is. Sabres take on the Oilers here. Oilers minus 195 on the money line. Buffalo playing for nothing. Edmonton, are they playing for anything? I haven't looked at the West standings honestly in a while, but I mean, I would imagine they have the Pacific at least locked up behind Vegas, right? Let me see here. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Kings have been playing well, so Edmonton, they could lose a few. Maybe they don't really care, but they're coming in here as favorites. Over under 6.5. Buffalo kind of sucks. I mentioned they're on like a 7-game losing streak.
Competitive effort, though, against the Lightning. Tampa, by the way.
So do you think it'll be competitive here tonight as well?
Competitive to start, and then I think the Oilers pull away. Leon Draisaitl will get 5 points tonight, Tony. 2 goals, 3 assists, and I think Edmonton puts the Buffalo beat down on the Sabres here.
The good old Buffalo beat down,
dude. I'm going to say 6-3, so give me Edmonton in the over.
Yeah, I don't know. Edmonton, interesting deadline. They didn't really do much this deadline. Kind of surprised about that. And I don't know. I say you were mentioning the effort they had against Tampa Bay. Let's say they sneak one past the Oilers tonight. Why not, dude? Give me the Tage Thompson, OT winner, not Connor McDavid. Tight. Buffalo wins, I don't know, I'll say 4-3. Sabres in the over, dude. 7:30, let's go to Ottawa as they take on the Red Wings. Okay, obviously a lot of implications here in terms of a wild card race because you look at the standings. Red Wings, 66 points. Senators in there at 69. Red Wings do have a couple games or just one game in hand, but obviously they're still trying to win here. So, I mean, you come in here, Red Wings have been playing great, which is why they're plus 145, over under 5.5. Red Wings have been on a 7-game losing streak, I think. Let's call it 5. And I believe they play Ottawa twice as they end the year here. So this is a big game for them. What do you got for John Pollock?
That's why we haven't heard from him recently, but we're going to hear from him tomorrow. I think Red Wings statement game. We're back. We're not going anywhere. Lucas Raymond with the 2 goals and the 1 assist. I think a tight one. Overtime again for the Senators, but Detroit prevails 4-3. It's going to be the Red Wings in the over.
Yeah, I like that call. Red Wings in the over. We need it, for Christ's sake, as the Rangers fans do. I know Brian is tired, dude. But we're going to go. Dylan Larkin has been very, very quiet since the Four Nations tournament, which he played very harshly for USA. So I say maybe he breaks down a little bit here. I'll say 2 goals and assists for him. DeBrincat a goal. I'll give Raymond a goal as well. Why not, dude? Red Wings win this one. I'll say 5-2. Senators stifled on their way to a 5-game losing streak, hopefully. Let's go now to 9 p.m. Colorado, a team that tried to get JT Miller, actually. Colorado, I read over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Miller denied the trade to Colorado, which is interesting. Avs take on the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks, I'm sure another team that Miller would deny a trade to because they suck, which is why Colorado is minus 600, Brian. Over under 6.5. Avs killing it, approaching the playoffs here. Crazy they're a wild card team out of the West. Blackhawks playing for nothing. What do you got? Chalk?
No. I'm just saying, I just have this feeling. Doesn't make any sense. The odds, if they don't win, this and that. But I'm telling you, it's happening, Tony. Bedard pissed hat trick, shocking the Avs at the Ball Arena here. I'm going to say we're going to see the Blackhawks, who did actually... Oh, a little something here. Tony says,
2-0?
So crazy.
2-0?
Yeah, up 2-0, 5-2-3-1. I knew they had won at least one. They've won 2, Tony. Make it 3 on their way to maybe a season sweep on the 2nd of April if they can get tonight's game in hand. But I'm going to say the Blackhawks win this game 4-1. So give me Chicago in the under, Bedard with the hat trick. Avalanche are hot, too. Dude for loss, by the way.
Blackhawks, yes, have beaten the Avalanche, but that was a different time early this season. Colorado was struggling. Who's their tender? Lack of offense, some injuries. Doesn't change the fact that the Blackhawks are 7-20 on the road this year. So give me the Avs here. I think a pretty clean 3-1. Nothing crazy. 3-1 victory. Chalk it up. Avs and the under. Next game, 10 p.m. Let's go to Utah. The Utah Hockey Club taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs here. Utah, I believe, definitely can still make a wild card spot, I believe, as they are 3 points behind the Calgary Flames here. So they could make a push. Definitely going to be tough for them taking on the Maple Leafs, who've been great at 10 p.m. But Utah is at even, which is very interesting. I don't know what that is. Trap game, I don't know. Over-under is 5.5, Brian. What do you got?
Yeah, this is tough. But you know what? I'm thinking another upset here, honestly. I usually would take Toronto in this situation, but Utah has been holding their own this season. Maple Leafs have also lost 3 in a row. Last time these two teams played back in November, Maple Leafs won 3-2. So I'm going to say that Vizmelka gets the start here. 28 of 30 in net. And we're going to see Clayton Keller, game winner, 20 seconds remaining. 3-2 Utah. Utah in the under.
Give me Toronto. Go chalk. Utah.
6-0.
6-0, dude. You mentioned Toronto 3-game losing streak, due for a win. Also, Utah just lost to Chicago in overtime. Give me a break, dude. Utah is not making the playoffs. Yeah, chalk game. Maple Leafs, not necessarily 6-0. Say 4-2 Maple Leafs and the under.
And just like that, that is your Monday edition of the Frozen Frenzy, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
It's a little warm.
It is warm in here. Don't like it.
But listen, I mean, the days are getting longer in terms of sunlight.
Yes.
The weather's getting warmer.
It is.
So I know it's to your dismay. But golf around the corner, also that's good. And speaking of which, the Russell Heenley, Tony, the chip-in eagle on 16.
Very impressive.
Paving the way for a one-shot victory over Colin Morikawa, who was in the lead on Sunday. Heenley winning the $4 million prize, the Arnie Vintage Red Sweater, Tony. Morikawa having to settle for the $2.2 million consolation prize in second. The Canadian, Corey Connors, in third, $1.4 million. Fourth place, you had Michael Kim getting a $1 million for fourth. And then Keegan Bradley, interestingly enough, did all of his work on Sunday, setting a record on the front nine, Tony, with a 29 en route to shooting 64. The 29, a record at Bay Hill. So he tied for fifth with Sepp Straka. And then rounding out the top 10, you had Shane Lowry in seventh at 6 under. Byung-Hung An at 5 under, tied with Justin Rose and Jason Day. So the Grizzled vets there getting in the mix. But, you know, I think, you know, this tournament kind of went the way that we anticipated. The toughness of the course, the big shots coming, you know, played a big part here. And no Scotty Scheffler win, once again, just outside the top 10. At 4 under, did not break 70 this week.
Yeah, no, he was struggling, dude. And, you know, I was actually watching this tournament quite closely over Thursday, over the whole weekend. You know, every single round, I was at least watching a couple of hours of coverage. And it just seemed like from the get-go, Sky never really had it, dude. Missing some easy putts, hitting it off the tee, you know, missing the fairway. Which is tough, dude. But, I mean, it made for an interesting storyline because even after his round 171, I think maybe he had.
Yes.
You know, it was, you know, it's still like, oh, like, you know, he's a few over or he broke even. Maybe he's like tied for 8th or he's within the top 15. And especially with someone like Scotty, you're always like, it just seems like that run is right around the corner for him, you know? So you're just, no matter where he is, you know, come round 4, round 3, you're thinking he could have it in the bag in a second, which was cool. I mean, it made for a great watch. I mean, like you said, a lot of the things were, pretty standard. Rory just kind of not good enough, And then, like I said before, too, there was a lot of changing the guard in terms of the leader. Looked like, honestly, Shane Lowry was going to win it for a little bit.
Yeah, he had a nice tournament.
I think it was him and Henley that were kind of like neck and neck at first, the first couple rounds.
76 on Saturday put him out of the mix, but he opened
Which
up
is tough.
69-67. So, I mean, that set the way.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, to see some of these golfers like taper off on the back end of these tournaments, because it just goes to show how tough it is to try to consistently get some good scores out there with the wind, with the pressure, and whatnot. So, Keegan Bradley, that was crazy, round 4. And he, I think, was outside the top 25 going into round 4 because he
shot 8 under yesterday. Finished 7 under, so he was 1 over par,
which is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So like to put himself in that position was awesome. We saw some great stretches by Ludwig Aubert too. I think his front 9 on Saturday. I think he had 5 birdies or 4 birdies in a row, dude.
77.
Well, and again, you see so many times with Aubert, he just those little putts, dude. Like even the short ones, you just
that was me in Tampa this weekend.
Just the absolute knee jerkers, dude.
A lot of knee jerkers.
And honestly, that just goes to show how tough the course was too. The greens looked ridiculous, dude, and it just seemed like anytime you missed, it would you'd end up off the green. Like there were just those bowl greens that just kept going and going, dude. Ridiculous.
Did anybody try to drive the green on that par 5 or no? You didn't really see that?
No, I didn't see that. I saw people. No, not off the tee.
Yeah, I mean, it just Bryson's the only one who likes.
Yeah.
That, really. And then what else was I gonna say here? You had some struggles, besides the guys we talked about. Xander Schauffele in that first tournament back 4 over, opened with a 77. I mean, he did finish with a 69, still shot +4. Be interesting to see if he's in contention next week at the Players, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, me too, dude.
I can hear the music from here that they always will have the commercials, the uninterrupted coverage of the Players Championship, TPC Sawgrass. And then you had Hovland missing the cut here, Joe Highsmith missing the cut, Sahith Theegala missing the cut, Max Homa missing the cut, Minwoo Lee missing the cut, Ashke Bhatia missing the cut. Tom Kim and Nick Dunlap missing the cut as well. So a lot of firepower here. Didn't do well, but it just shows the toughness of the course.
Yeah, dude.
And like we said, I mean, it's going to be exciting to see what we have in store for the Players and can Scotty make it 3 in a row? Nobody had done 2 in a row till last year. Can he make it 3 in a row? Kind of seems like he's due, Tony, but it's I feel like you probably want to see a little more out of him first,
Yeah, no, you definitely do, dude. I mean, he's had such a weird start to the year with the cut on the hand. You're out for a while. You're coming back. You're struggling a little bit. I mean, I know, maybe people who are more in depth in golf in terms of watching him, maybe it's it is around the corner, literally. But I don't know, just seeing his body language this weekend, I mean, it doesn't feel like it is around the corner for me.
But it's don't you feel like too though? It'll just happen though. I mean, we're not gonna really see it coming necessarily. Just kind of a thought.
Is Michael Buck a Mets fan now?
Lucas Duda, dude. Lucas Duda.
Do you remember him?
Stop. I mean, it's how could I forget him?
No, I mean, very true, dude. And then, oh my goodness. Shout out to AutoZone, Michael says. And he says, ball guys are the GOATs. Michael Theofil says it may be warm, but it's also clean in there.
Absolutely, Michael.
It is. He cleaned the studio, yes.
Thank you, Michael. Honestly, spotless. I noticed it as soon as I walked in. Absolutely spotless. Not a crumb in here.
God, dude.
And then, the alternate event there, the Puerto Rico Open. Carl Phillips, first career PGA Tour victory here, 26 under, opened with a 65, closed with a 64, $720,000 winner here, 300 FedEx Cup points.
It's a great payday. Also,
I believe he is signed by Sunday Red, Tiger Woods' apparel company.
Wow.
Yeah, Stanford alum too. So that's a good story. Gets him into the players next week, and a 2-year exemption on PGA Tour. So that's why we always talk about how these, these alternate events are important, giving guys opportunities, and have a chance at that $20 million prize at the players this week. So
that's great, dude. And what's his name? Phillips, 720 in the bag this weekend.
Yeah,
there you go.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Getaway to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, dude.
And then that's really it. Michael Bucket did mention not the Luka, but the LeBron injury.
Yeah.
And then I guess that was really NBA wise. That was really. I was just trying to think if there's anything crazy. I mean, obviously the Celtics beat the Lakers, and everyone was complaining about LeBron with the flop. And
that was bad. No, it was.
Yeah.
Dude, how about I know the deadline was on Friday. Rantanen to Dallas. Right. That's wild. Marchand. But then, dude, Marchand to Florida was that. I mean, that's one of the
cup.
Honestly,
I can't believe Boston laid down and just didn't pony up.
Honestly, I can't believe that either.
Yeah.
For someone like Brad Marchand too, who definitely would have preferred to be a career Bruin and end with that team. Instead, you give him to a division rival here, and you just what do they get? A conditional second-round pick for 2027.
That is. Are you I actually didn't know that was the package. That's almost worse than Luka.
And I guess
I know it's because they have to re-sign him, but bro, a second-round pick, you're not even gonna get any type of players.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, dude. The fact that it happened and the fact that that's what it is, none of that makes sense. I get Boston's in a tough spot, but it just seemed like that, a Marchand or a McAvoy and a Pasternak, those guys would be off the table, sort of deal,
Right.
So I don't know, man. I mean that's something, a move I never thought I would have ever seen. Really crazy deadline, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mikko Rantanen, by the way, too, I think becomes now the only player to have 70 or more points in a season and play for 3 different teams.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
I think you or somebody else had suggested that he might get traded. I didn't think that they were going to trade him again, but they did. And they got 2 firsts for him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Carolina did good.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that they couldn't come to an agreement.
With him or Nikas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I mean, I think Rantanen was also just tight that he wasn't still with Colorado. Another player who I think expected to be, career Avalanche, you know? So wild trades. But listen, I'm stoked for the postseason for hockey.
And Michael Buck is still stoked for bald guys. Yes, Michael, I've been to Jamaica twice. And Michael, Theophil, that is kind of poking the bear here. Tatum had 40 on LeBron and Luka. He was kind of doing everything that he wanted to. I saw part of that game at Colony as well.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean that's I think Tony. I mean that's really where we are in the world of sports. I just wanted to see actually local wise. I don't believe the Knicks are playing tonight, right?
I think that they're off. I think I heard Rick and Dave talk about that. But I mean they're not going anywhere.
No, they are playing NBA TV 10:30 in
10:30?
Sacramento.
Oh.
And then Michael says, and we're back to Tatum. Tatum on steroids. That guy is nothing. That's what Michael Bucket said.
Do you think he's on steroids?
Yeah.
Really?
The whole league.
I mean, he's pretty fucking huge.
No, he could be, honestly. I mean, at least some HGH, Tony, right?
Right? Because I guess a lot of players are way tinier when they come into the league, but he definitely was a little twiggish.
Yeah, he was.
Now he's
whoa. But he's unbelievable. So yeah, be interesting. I don't know what. Oh, okay, they just moved around here. Yeah, so it is the Kings. Yeah, so that's really it, Tony. But I have to say, great first show back. Tatum, you mean LeBron? Michael says. But yeah, and also Michael saying, Barnes, I hope you meant it when you said Boston was not going to get another ring. I mean, I hope they mean it. They need to do their part of the bargain, Michael. Okay. But yeah, we really appreciate everybody who tuned in today and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay and costume, the merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you
Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.